Well, that was sure satisfying. Did you notice something funny? No. She Courtney put Angie down. My name's Alicia. I told her to do that. Yeah. Oh, well, I think most of us have actually been calling you Angie. Yeah, well, my name's Alicia. Sorry about that. It's all good. Last night's tribal went perfect for me. Courtney went home unanimously, except for she voted for me. And now I think me, Daryl, Dan, and Chris are just gonna try and get rid of Ken, Katie, and Grace. And so I'm in a very good position right now. So last night I voted for Courtney. She went home, but honestly, I'm regretting the decision. She wasn't really benefiting my game other than being a shield. But she kind of put me in a tough position. But now Alicia, Daryl, Dan, and Chris have a majority, and they could potentially, try and get rid of me. So at the moment, I need to try and make sure that Katie and Grace are on my side, and then try and flip one of the boys. So I just need to know, are we still good? Yep. Sure, yeah. Okay, cool. I have a feeling we're on the bottom because the other four would just stick together. I'm open to suggestions on who you want to get rid of. Well, overall, I think we need Dan, Daryl, and Chris for challenges. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. So we get rid of Alicia. Yep. Okay, I'm cool with that. All we've got to do is try and get one of the other boys to flip. I think I could try and get Daryl on board. Okay, cool. So Ken is now starting again to assert some dominance, but he is giving me and Katie the right to pick our targets. So we want to get rid of Alicia. We think she's the weakest out of the other four. And honestly, if both sides are still willing to work with me, that's the best for me. Hopefully the decision I make if we are to lose doesn't put me on the bottom. So that's really all I care about. I want to continue playing the middle, and hopefully when the merge comes, if we do have a majority over the other tribe, then we can just take out the other tribe and work together. So I'm all for working together, but on the other hand, it might be smarter to just get rid of Ken because he is a very strategic threat. So what did you think of that? I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, I trust Ken more than the other side, so I'm gonna work with Ken. Yeah, well, I kind of just, think Ken is asserting too much dominance, and he's a very strategic player. So what are you saying? You want to turn on him? Well, I think not really, but I think we keep it in the back of our minds. Okay. I don't know necessarily if it's smart for me to stay with Grace. But at the same time, Grace is my number one. So overall, I think it's smarter for me to just work with her. But I need to keep my eyes open because Grace is she's thinking of flipping on Ken, which I don't really like because I like Ken, but at the same time, she does bring up a good point. Ken is very strategic, so yeah, at the moment I'm in an okay position. I don't think I have a target on my back, but I need to start thinking more about the game and who I can trust more, and at the moment it's kind of between Ken and Grace, so yeah, we'll just see how it goes over the next few days. Hey guys. Oh, hey Chris, welcome back. Yeah, thank you. Hey, what was Exile like? Well, it was interesting. It's kind of what you expect. You just get exiled there, nothing much. So what? Nothing. There was nothing there. Well, I didn't find anything, so I don't really know. To me, it was just I got left on an island. I didn't want to tell anybody what happens at Exile in case one of my allies go there, because I don't want them to come back and if people know what the idol is, and they might say, "Oh, did you find the idol?" And then they might say no, and then people might think that's suspicious, and yeah, I don't want that. So, but on the other hand, if my allies do go there and they figure out that I was lying, then maybe they don't want to work with me. So it's kind of like a double sided sword, and Hopefully in the end it doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. I don't trust Chris. I think he was lying about exile. And at the moment, if he is lying, then he is my target. He's basically still my target at the moment. I want to talk it over with the Alliance. But if I'm wrong about him, then I will apologize. But at the moment, I smell that he's lying, and I don't like that. So, to me, I think he needs to go home next. So we've got the majority. What should we do if we lose? I reckon Katie. Why Katie? I think Grace, she's the weakest person on that side. Yeah, but I have a feeling Grace is like kind of with us, you know? So I think Katie might be the right decision. Yeah, I reckon Ken. Why is that? Well, because he is probably the most strategic and biggest threat on that side to all our games. Yeah, I think we should just stick with Katie. What do you say? I mean, I'm fine with it. Sure. Okay. So I've got to be careful about Dan. I know he's in my alliance, but it's kind of but in the end of the day, I want to win. Dan wants Ken out because Dan poses a massive threat to him, and I don't want that. You know, I want to be the ringleader. So whoever I say that I want to go home is going to be the final verdict, no matter what, because I want to have control in this game, and if I give too much power to Dan, then he's just going to stomp all over the competition. So I need to keep Ken, not because I really want to, but because I don't want Dan to get his way. Hey. Hey, Alicia. That was were you happy about Courtney? Oh, yeah, definitely. She wanted me out, and then she blurted the plan out to everybody else. Huh, funny. She also thinks I was called Angie. Oh, yeah. So, like, why did you want to talk to me? Well, I'm just kind of thinking, like, the Alliance, I know we're a part of it, but it kind of feels like it's more run by Dan and Daryl. So, what are you proposing? That, like, eventually we should try and, like, turn on them. Like, not now, obviously, but, well, we've got the majority, but, like, eventually, maybe later in the game, maybe sometime around merge. I mean, like, I didn't really see it that way, but then now that you put it like that, it makes some kind of sense. The longer I stay out here, the more I bond with Alicia, and Alicia decided to tell me where her mind is, and honestly, where she sits is honestly kind of smart. Like, I do realize Daryl and Dan are kind of taking control over the Alliance, and they could be potentially dangerous, so yeah, she's right. Eventually they're going to have to go, but they're still part of the Alliance, and I think they do have my best interests at heart, so you know, when it comes down to it, I might either have to work with Alicia or work with them. We've been going for 7 days now, and the game is slowly heating up, so I'm coming to a point where I'm going to have to eventually make some big moves, and it's going to start with me and Chris taking out Daryl and Dan, so better to start planning now rather than later, because good players think 5 or 6 steps ahead, not just one tribal council at a time. And I'm thinking at least 3 or 4 tribal councils in the future, which could be dangerous, but you know, I don't really care. Hey Chase. Yeah, Paul? Do you want to go for a quick walk? Yeah, sure. So, I want to target Paul because he flipped on his alliance and to vote with me, which, you know, was good for me because he worked with me, but him flipping on his alliance potentially makes him dangerous to my game, and now he's pulling away Chase to talk to him, and that concerns me because out of everybody here who's playing the game, I know I am, and no one really else has had any interest of making moves. And so he's the other person that I really notice making moves, so he needs to go if we get a chance, and hopefully my alliance will do it. So at the moment, I need to try and my best to try and convince my alliance to get rid of Paul. So like, I just like need to know, like, where are you thinking in the game? Well, like, I feel like I'm in a comfortable position, you know. We made a move on Brandon at our first tribal, and at the moment we're sitting kind of pretty. Why, how about you? Well, so Sue and Angie came up to me and asked if I would flip, and I thought about it, and I thought I would because, you know, Natalie's a huge threat. So what are you saying? You want me on board? Yes. And, like, what will you give me? Well, I think me and you are kind of similar age, about the same in wit. So I think me and you will be able to, like, control the game, just the two of us, you know? And, like, maybe at the merge you see the other guy with the suit. I think his name's Ken. Maybe we might be able to make an alliance with him. Who knows? Yeah, I see that. So what do you say? I'll think about it. So, I don't want to have the image that I'm a flip-flopper. Like, I flip on my alliance I'm in on day one, and then flip on that alliance that I've previously flipped on, and flip back and flip forward and stuff like that. But potentially best for my game is that me and Chase get together, work with the two girls, and I don't know, he may even bring somebody that he likes from that side onto our side, and we get rid of Natalie and Owen, or Natalie and Carol. Just he cannot bring Natalie onto the side. And in the end, I'll be controlling the game, and I don't want to be known as a flipper, but, you know, maybe that's best for my game at the moment. So I have a decision. I can flip from Natalie, who's a big player, and work with Paul, who's a big player. And yeah, you can kind of see the situation I'm in, both of which have their pros and cons. I have been in a 7-day alliance with Natalie, but Paul and makes up a good point that me and him are kind of similar. So I want to talk to Carol because I trust Carol the most out of anybody else. And, you know, you are much better off making moves in this game with two people rather than one. Just ask Georgia and Gavin. I know they flipped on each other in the end, but they did a lot of stuff as a duo, and I plan to try and do the same thing with Carol. You guys are in trouble. How? So I spied on Chase and Paul. They were having a conversation, and Paul is willing to flip on us, just as I kind of suspected he would, and he's willing to take Chase down with him. That's not good. So what do you propose? Well, I know I said we would get rid of Angie because that's what you said you wanted to do, but now I'm thinking it's probably smarter that we just get rid of Paul now and then get rid of Angie next. Yeah, I'm fine with that. He's untrustworthy. Okay, sure. So, all of a sudden, it's starting to spark to me that Natalie is playing a dangerous game. But at the same time, Paul is playing a dangerous game, and I like Natalie more than Paul, so I'm fine with getting rid of Paul. But I want to talk to Chase about it, because I trust Chase the most. And if it comes down to it, then I'm fine with getting rid of Natalie if that's what he wants to do, because Natalie also is a big threat. And I know she wants to control the threat level, but she's not doing a very good job at that. So, I need to tell you something. Yeah, same. So, Natalie spied on you and Paul's conversation. She did what now? Yeah, and she thinks she wants to get rid of Paul. What did you want to tell me? Well, I was just going to tell you what Paul told me. He wants me to flip. Yeah, that's what she told me. And I was wondering if you wanted to do it with me. I mean, like, me and you are in this together, so I presume, like, we're just going to work together here. Well, like, I'm fine doing it because Natalie seems like a sneaky and dangerous player. But if we do flip, like, what's to say that the other three won't vote us out when they get down to it? I mean, like, that's what I thought would happen, but Paul said he wants to work with me, so, like, he trusts me as well, so maybe we can try and get Paul on board, and we then can run that 5-person majority as a 3, you know? Yeah, I see that, but, like, we might be better with, like, working with Natalie, but I'm scared about Natalie because she's a big threat. Like, if we can get her to control her threat level, then maybe it might be easier to work with her. So if we can convince her to vote for Angie, then maybe we can work with her. Otherwise, if she's still gun-ho and wanting to get rid of Paul, then maybe we should consider trying to get rid of her. Yeah, that makes sense. So, we haven't even launched yet, and there's a lot of strategy going around, and at the moment, me and Carol, we're kind of like dumbfounded by all of this, and we don't know really where we're going to go. So if we are to lose, there's a few things that could happen. We could vote Natalie if she's continuing to try and get rid of Paul, and that makes her dangerous. But we could also just vote for Paul, because we also know that Paul's playing dangerously as well. Or we can try and convince Natalie to try and get rid of Angie, which me and Carol both want, because we want to really work with Natalie and we trust her. But if it comes down to it, we might have to just get rid of her. So there's a lot of questions being asked, and we haven't even lost the immunity challenge yet. Are you ready to get to your third immunity challenge? Yeah! First things first, Talutu getting your first look at the new Silentu tribe. Courtney voted out at last night's tribal council. Okay, for today's challenge, one member of each tribe will face off and try and push one another off the platform with these bags. First tribe to 4 points wins immunity, safe from the vote. Losers, tribal council, where somebody will be the third person voted out. In addition, the winning team will send one member of the losing team to Exile Island. Alright, we'll give you a moment to strategize and we'll get started. First up, for Talutu, we have Sue, and for Silentu, we have Katie. Survivors ready? Go! Big contact in the middle by both girls. Katie pushes Sue all the way to the end of the platform, but Sue knocks Katie over. This is a massive opportunity for Sue. And Sue pushes Katie off, winning the first point for Talutu. Talutu lead 1-0. Next up, for Talutu, we have Paul. For Silentu, we have Chris. Survivors ready? Go! Both men meet on with a head-on collision in the middle. Chris knocks Paul over and Paul loses his bag. This could be really bad. Chris knocks Paul off. Chris earns a point for Silentu. We are tied 1 apiece. Next up, for Talutu, we have Angie taking on Alicia from Silentu. Survivors ready? Go! Straight away, Angie knocks Alicia off her feet. And Angie knocks Alicia off. Angie scores the second point for Talutu. Talutu lead 2-1. Next up, we have Chase for Talutu taking on Ken for Silentu. Survivors ready? Go! Both men making strong impacts in the middle. Ken is slowly pushing Chase towards the edge. Ken is still going. This could be really bad. And Ken pushes Chase off the platform. Ken wins a point for Silentu. We are tied 2 apiece. Next up, we have Carol taking on Grace. Survivors ready? Go! Both girls meet in the middle. Now they're starting to turn. It looks like Grace has got the bit of an upper hand over Carol. And with one big shove, Grace knocks Carol off the platform. Silentu lead 3-2. Next up, for Talutu, we have Natalie taking on Dan from Silentu. Survivors ready? Go! So right off the bat, Natalie goes low, Dan goes high. Ooh, and Natalie knocks Dan's bag out of his hands. And Natalie knocks Dan off. Natalie scores another point for Talutu. We are tied 3 apiece going into the final battle. For our final battle, we have Owen taking on Daryl. Whoever wins this battle will be not going to tribal council, while the loser will. Survivors ready? Go! Both men making contact in the middle. Daryl knocks back Owen quite a bit, but Owen is still standing. But Owen gets back up and smacks Daryl back. This could be really bad, but Daryl recovers and now has Owen on the back foot. Daryl looking to knock Owen to the ground, and he does. But Owen is still on the platform. Owen gets back up and is continuing to fight. Owen has almost pushed Daryl off the edge, but Daryl in return retaliates, knocking Owen on his backside. Daryl pounces quickly and knocks Owen off, meaning Silentu wins immunity and is safe from the vote. Congratulations Talentu on winning immunity. In addition, you get to select one member of Talutu to go to Exile Island. Who do you pick? We're going to pick Carol. Alright, Carol, you're off to Exile Island. You will return back for Tribal Council. Alright, grab your stuff, head out. Talutu, as for you, I have nothing else for you. Grab your stuff, head back to camp. I'll see you tonight for Tribal Council. Winning immunity is a good feeling. I don't really know where anyone sits in my tribe. Daryl seems to be controlling the alliance, which is not what I want. But winning immunity gives me 3 more days out here, so who can get angry at that? Let's see what this place is all about. So basically Exile Island is just this, a note to the idol. So it means Chase was telling the truth, which, to be honest, I really didn't doubt him in the first place. So yeah, I don't know if he found it or not. I want to try and find it. If I can't find it, then I can hope for the best that Chase has already found it. But otherwise, I mean, I better start looking then. So it's not on the surface, so maybe I need to dig around the trees and stuff. I don't really know. Wait, hold on, is that something? No, that's just... what did you really think that was, Carol? Maybe something's back here. No, just an empty cave. What the hell? Exile Island is no joke. Survivor is no joke. Finding this idol is no joke. This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and I'm out here for my children, for my family. I'm reaching a point in my life where excitement isn't really it's hard to get excitement at the age of 57, so hopefully I can make it far enough into the game that I can survive long enough that I can get something out of this experience, and hopefully my family are going to be proud of me. That's what I'm out here for. And obviously to win the $1 million in the process. Well, that was disappointing. Yeah, that sucks. Well, hopefully we can beat them again. Yeah, well, we're still gonna have to vote somebody out. So, coming back from the challenge, we are a little bit sour because we lost. I am very exhausted. That battle was really intense between me and Daryl. My plan tonight is to stick with Natalie. I mean, I know my strategy so far has been pretty boring, just stick with the majority, but this is early stages Survivor, so I think I'm just going to stick with the plan. Me and Natalie gel well together. I don't know if she 100% trusts me more than Chase and Carol, so my job from now till the merge is to try and get her to trust me more than them, because in the end I want to be taken to the final 2 with her. I still need to hopefully keep my eyes open for big moves as well, but at the moment it's smart for me to just stick with my majority alliance. So is the plan still Paul? I mean, I'm fine with it if it is. I mean, I want it to be Paul, but smarter to just get rid of Angie. Why? Well, I know Paul is a big snake, dangerous player, strategic player, but realistically we don't need him. And Angie is the weakest member of the tribe. Well, except for Carol, but she is pretty adamant that she can swim, so I won't take that away from her. Okay. I'm fine with that. Okay, cool. So, after the first tribal, I knew I had a massive target on my back because we voted out Brendan in the blind side, and it was basically because of me. And I wanted to control my threat level, and that was trying to get rid of Angie, but Paul decided to show his true colors, and I was like, you know what, no, I don't really want to work with him. So then I was gung-ho and trying to get rid of him, and then that didn't work out. I don't think that's going to work out, because I don't want to extend my target, I want to minimize it. There will be a time to get rid of Paul later on. I have no willing to work with him, but at the moment Angie's the best option to control my threat level. So Natalie comes out, completely ditches her character before the challenge and says Angie will do, and that kind of catches me off guard, because Before she was really big on voting out Paul, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to work with that. But now I'm starting to think she's now continuing to try and control her threat level, which makes her a pretty dangerous character in the meantime. And I know I wanted her to vote for Angie because I still wanted to work with her, but now I'm starting to think it might be smarter for me and Carol to just work with Paul. But on the other hand, I think Natalie and Owen have our best interest at heart, and Paul doesn't. But on the other hand, Paul has a 5-person alliance if we flip. But then again, I think we can trust Natalie more. So what did Natalie say? She said Angie. Why is that? She says you're the weakest person in the tribe. I mean, like, she's working with Carol, so obviously she didn't want to throw her under the bus. So I'm like, what do we do? Vote her out? Well, like, I think that's the smart idea. So are you with us? Sure. Okay, cool. You're gonna bring Carol on board? Yep, that's her 5. Natalie goes, then Owen. Simple as that. Hopefully we can go to merge as this 5. Yeah, that sounds good with me. Cool. So now I hear my name popping up, and I'm like, oh no, that's not good. But it's Survivor. I should expect it to happen. Hopefully Chase is with us. Hopefully he's not lying to us. Otherwise I'm screwed. But I'm getting a little bit nervous about Paul. I think Paul's trying to like take over this alliance that me and Sue formed, but like there's no need to try and go after him now. I've already got 1 target. And then Owen as well as the 2nd target, and then maybe him later on. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going through my mind, and the first thing that's going through my mind is the potential fact that I could be going home tonight. So I don't know if I'm going to work with them, but I'm not just going to go up to them and say, hey, I'm not working for you, because that's just not smart. Hey guys, I'm back. Oh hey Carol, did you find the idol? No, unfortunately not. Oh hey Angie, you on? Well, like, Natalie's coming after me, and like, I'm just wondering like if you and Chase are gonna work with me. I mean, we're thinking about it, but like we really need to know like what's the benefit for us. Well, like, you are much better off with us because that would be a 5 rather than a 4. And I don't trust Paul. So when it comes down to it, we probably will get rid of Paul instead of you. Okay, that seems like pretty good. So what did you want to talk to me about? Well, like, I'm no idiot. I know, like, I'm on the ropes. Paul's trying to get you and Chase on board. I told you about it. So I just, like, I want you to stick with me. Yeah, I'll give you the same response I gave to Angie. I need some benefit. Remember that the reason why we made the alliance on day 1 is because we were here for our families, and we should not let that go. That's so true. I've been out here for 9 days, and that's 9 days enough for me to get information from anybody I've met. And I've met everybody here, so as a police officer, I know that Carol feels passionate about her family. So all I need to talk to her to pull her heartstrings to get her to flip and stay on with me, I guess, is to, tell her about family and why we started the alliance. And hopefully, in the end, that's enough for her to still work with me and not flip. So, I'm going to have to make a decision tonight. Do I rather work with Angie, which could potentially further myself in the game? Or do I work with Natalie, who I had an alliance with since day 1? We share a lot in common. I trust her, she trusts me. There's only one answer. I'm going to talk over it with Chase. So, looks like it's going to come down to us. Yeah, what side are you on? I'm on Natalie's side. I had a conversation with her that really touched me, and I trust her more. Yeah, I trust Natalie more, but she's also a big threat. I mean, she wants to vote out Angie, and I think she's trying to control her threat level, which is good. But, she made a big move at the first tribal council, and overall I think it's dangerous to keep around a player like that. True. I mean, at the same time, it's kind of fun to be like the deciding factors at tonight's tribal. Yeah, but like there's a lot of pressure on us at the same time. Tonight's an opportunity to go in and make a big move, which I personally want to make, but Carol brings up a good point, and that is that we can trust Natalie. I mean, we are working with her, and like it seems smart to just work with her, but I mean, like, how much can we truly trust her? She's willing to spy on us to figure out information, and she's willing to make big moves and go balls to the walls. So I necessarily don't want to work with something like that long term, but overall, hopefully, me and her can make the right decision tonight. Welcome, Tulutu, to Tribal Council. So Chase, how do you like pick a target after tonight's challenge? Well, you don't pick a target off the challenge today because the tribes are very even, so there's nobody really physically weak that pops up, so it kind of goes down to the other factors. Do you trust somebody? Are they a big threat? Are they benefiting your game? You know, just the usual. Angie, aside from all the strategy, how has this game taken a toll on your body? Oh yeah, the game itself has taken a toll on my body quite a bit, but this game at heart is a strategy game, so I try and focus on the strategy part of it more. What about you, Sue? Where do you sit? Yeah, I sit along the same lines as Angie, and hopefully tonight it's me sitting here and the person I want going home walks across that bridge, because I don't want it to be me. So, Natalie, do you think you're going to be walking across the bridge? No. Are you sure? Well, I'm a confident person, Jeff, and so hopefully my confidence doesn't run out tonight. Okay, with that, it is time to vote. Owen, you'll start us off. Angie, I hope you take no offense to this. I would rather be voting for Owen, but this is the best way to control my threat level. Natalie, you're a good player, but I'm an even better player. That's why you're going home tonight. Tally the votes. The person with the most votes must leave the Tribal Council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote, Natalie. Second vote, Angie. That's one vote Natalie, one vote Angie. Third vote, Angie. That's 2 votes Angie, 1 vote Natalie, 4 votes left. Fourth vote, Natalie. That's 2 votes Natalie, 2 votes Angie. Fifth vote, Angie. That's 3 votes Angie, 2 votes Natalie. Sixth vote, Natalie. That's 3 votes Natalie, 3 votes Angie, 1 vote left. The third vote, and the third person voted out of Survivor Bermuda, Angie. Angie, that's 4. That's enough for tonight. I'll need you to bring me your torch. Angie, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. Well, congratulations to the 6th of you for surviving your second tribal council. That is no easy thing to do. Grab your torches, head back to camp. Good night. Well, I came out here to fight for $1 million, and I get graciously voted out. This truly has been one of the most fun and tough things of my life, and it's sad that it has to end after 9 days. I thought like I could have gone a lot further, and overall I am a bit upset, but like I'm not going to be a sore loser over this. I beat Brendan and Courtney, which is more than Brendan and Courtney can say, I guess. There is no need for me to cry over spilt milk. I spent 9 days out here. That's more than 3. It's more than 6. It's not more than 10, so it's a little bit disappointing, but like, who cares? I made it 9 days.